Hey guys, and welcome to the Wishing Shed. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make these super duper little chicks. Yellow chick. They're just so cute. So the first thing to do is take the yellow coral wool, and we're just going to roll that up. And if you roll it as tightly as you can to start with, and then you can always add more wool afterwards. If you've got the stencil sheet here, and it's important to follow this for the shapes as you're going. So I'm just going to roll that up, and then felt, and you don't have to felt too firmly with this, but I'll just show you how well it does felt. So it is just fantastic. Like with some wools you can't sort of felt over gaps, but with this, if you just look how well this you lay it over, and it just is fantastic. Really is amazing, and the detail you can get with it is incredible. And I'm just using a 38 star needle here. Sometimes I use a 38 twisted needle, which works really well for this wool. So I'm going to keep felting. Okay, so when you keep felting, and then this is the shape you want to go with your stencil sheet. So we have the side view, which needs to fit in. So I can see you need to needle felt around this area here, and tapering to the tail. So that needs to be felted up a little bit. And then if you look on the underside view, so it's important to get the head area thinner and the tail area thinner. So I'm just going to felt that a little bit more. A little bit of carded, tiny bit of carded New Zealand on top, and it just gives such a nice finish. So I mean, you can see the shape of that already, and that took about 5 minutes. So I'm just going to show you how to do the wings before we put on a little bit of a top coat. So, and again, if I just zoom in, so I just zoomed in to show you how easy it is to make the little wing shapes. So we've got the little wings shapes here, and if you sort of fold roughly how much you need first, you want them to be quite flat before you begin. So, and then you can measure sort of 2 amounts the same. It's basically the same. And then I've just zoomed in to show you how wonderful this wool is for sculpting like little things like the wings. I mean, look, it just felts down. It just felts down so super duper quick. And we're shaping. So, and again, I'm just keeping an eye on the shape that I want as I'm going. So I want it to be sort of very thin, swapping back to a spiral needle, thin around there, and then sort of just carefully shaping. We're going to shape it more once it's on the body. So this is just to get the rough shape, which is great. So we put that, zoom back out a minute. So we put that onto the body, again lining up just under the neck area there, making sure we get it sort of in a good position, and felting on. And again, it just felts on so easily. It's wonderful. So there's our, we're going to define it a bit more once we're going to put a little bit of carded New Zealand over this in a minute. So I'm just going to show you a little trick on how to line the wings up properly as the other little wing. So if you look at it from the top view and just use the line of your needle to get the position of where to attach the wing, and also look at it from the front to make sure that you have them lined up correctly. So we have the wings on the right position, and attach it on. Again, I'm going to define the shape a little bit more in a second, but this wool just, I mean, that's already attached on now. So these are so easy, so quick to make, these little chicks. It probably takes 20 minutes to make one because this wool is just so, it felt so quick. So that's that done. And now I'm going to put the legs on before I put the top coat on, and I'll show you how to do the legs now. So another great thing about this kit is there's no wire, but we are using these fantastic pipe cleaners which make great little legs and feet. So we've got to make sure we get the size right. We don't want them too big or too small. And to do the feet, this is our measurement here. This is the bend. So we bend the tiny bit over on the end. And then this is going to be our front toe, our middle toe and our back toe. So bend up back like that. And it goes back on itself. And then halfway on the foot we wrap round and up to get our front toe, our middle toe and our back toe. Like so. And we can pinch them together. You can use pliers or to pinch them together closer, but I just use my fingers for now. And then, so scissors. Now we're going to make the other two toes, and to do that you just cut a bit of the pipe cleaner and literally make sure you get the measurements right using the stencil sheet here, because we want the toes to be even. So like so, and then we wrap around once on the middle toe, or you can wrap around the back of the ankle there by do on the middle toe nice and tightly so that they don't wobble, and literally then we just cut the other one to length so we have a little foot. And then we go up, measure on the stencil sheet again for the length of the legs. You don't want them too long, don't want them too short, and bend. And then you make the other foot exactly the same way. So make sure that you get the right leg length so that the feet are even and it's going to stand up evenly. And then you bend back for the back toe, measuring against the stencil sheet again. So there's our back toe on the other foot, pinched together, and I'm going to wrap it around once to keep it in place across that ankle, like so. Going to the front and measure the middle toe, and I'm going to cut to length. And then just use the other piece of pipe cleaner to make the other middle toe. Like so, wrap around nice and tightly, just once, bend forwards and measure length of the toes, bend the ends over if you need to. And there you have it, so there's your little legs. So attaching the legs, you've got to make sure you get them in the right position because you want your chick to stand up nicely and not topple over. So measuring on our stencil sheet here, line your chick up, and you've got to place the middle of the pipe cleaner legs about just above sort of the back end. And we're going to make sure the position here is correct. So look on both angles, we've got a marker there as well, you can see. So we need them to be sort of in the middle there and across the sort of back end underside there. And I'm going to felt that on using some more of the core wool in the middle. So And this, look how this really just doesn't take any time at all. Watch how quickly this attaches. So it just goes on. You have to be a bit careful of the pipe cleaner with your needle, but I haven't broke one yet on these pipe cleaners. There you go. So next we're just going to add the top coat and do a little bit more fine tuning with the felting. So now we're going to add a little bit of a top coat. Like I say, you don't have to. You can leave them sort of fluffy like this, but I'm going to put on you hardly need any. So just very sparse, and layer it on. And just watch how well this attaches, and then we're just going to add a bit of detail around the wing just to define it a bit. So here we go. I'm just going to attach that on. I'm being a bit risky here, putting my hand under. You don't have to stab right into the wall, you see, so you just little light stabs and going around the wing just to add a little bit of definition. Felting the wool on. So we're layering it on bit by bit. You only need one layer, but we're just covering the body bit by bit. So, which just sort of smooths out the wool even more. Layer it on and felt. Like so. Add some more. So smoothing over the head, and then I'll show you how to define the smooth it all out first. Define the head in a second. There we go. You see it's really starting to come together now. Around the back of it. I've got a hair in there, don't want that. So smooth that on. What we want is, if you look at the stencil sheet from the front, you want this area here to be thinner. So if your needle felt a line down diagonally to where the beak's going to go, so a needle felt where the eye is going to go, and then the beak would go there on the front of the face. So needle felt diagonally down, and then it just creates that nice little shape on the front of the head, on the needle for that side, so that it's lined up. And then I'm going to needle felt around. Haven't put the rest of the top coat on, but I'm just doing this quickly to show you. So needle felt around the rest of the head, like so. It's around here, and to create your nice little chick shape. I'm just going to add a bit more top coat around here, and I'll show you then how to do the beak. Right, I've had to put the light on because it's so dark here today, so I've just been a bit sparse with the top coat. I've hardly used any there really. I've just added a little bit more underneath the legs to cover those up a bit, tiny amount, and you can leave it quite fluffy as well. But basically, so I could define that a bit more, but I'm just doing this is a quick, I spent about 20 minutes on this one just to give it a bit more shape. So we're just going to add the beak now. Oh, one thing, So if you use a thicker needle, this is a 36 gauge needle, just to stop it from snapping, and to get the shape of the puffy cheeks, if you just go in slightly and carefully pull out the cheeks just a bit so they're puffy like so. And I mean, that's the good thing about this as well, is that each chick you make comes out completely different, so they're so cute. Right, so we're going to add the beak onto this one now. So this is some of the orange coral, and we're just going to shape a little beak shape following the stencil sheet again. You want them quite small. So this will, look at that, it's so wonderful. And then if you just roll it backwards and forwards between your fingers a bit to get the point. So like a little beak shape, like so. And then we will attach that, that's perfect, we'll attach that to our little fellow. So we don't want too much fluff, excess fluff, we just want a little bit. And where we had our lines for the eyes, so we know where our beak needs to go, and we'll just attach that on. If you attach it between the eyes first, the middle bit, and then just shape around. And cover the join of the beak like so. Got a hair in there. Oops. Oh, hair, don't want that. To go. So, once you've attached the beak and you're happy with it, we can sew the eyes in. So these are the little glass beads, and using your point guide on the stencil sheet, I'm going to just sew that through, making sure you go straight through to the other side so that they're evenly positioned, and you go back and I just sew them in. I show you how to do this as well. There's a separate sheet, comes with a stencil, and we add the other one. And sign off under the neck, position. Right, come on, that's it. Hide the stitch, so you go back up through and off, and just felt over any visible stitches. So we've got our eyes in, and then the last thing you can do is you can add another little bit on top of the beak, because they have this sort of orange bit there. So if we do that, just to show you what I mean, so you can add this little section, just felt a little bit of wool, sort of like a little triangle on top of the beak, a little round bit. So that can go on, don't have to, just gives it a bit more realism. So So they have this sort of little bit there. And then you could add little bows or little sort of ribbons, bows on their head. Be quite cute. Just sew them on, depends what you want to do. So there you go, that's a demonstration showing the new Wishing Shed Chick Kit using the fantastic new coloured core wool, which I am going to be getting in some other colours. So at the minute I only have a few colours, but I am going to be getting in a variety of colours in the future. And really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and thank you for stopping by.